I'm Marion and I live just outside of London in the UK.
My name's Mark Baker and I'm an avid motorcyclist and have re-established our friendship and relationship through my motorcycle trips to Europe.
I met Mark through motorcycles many years ago, and then we lost touch, but obviously with modern communication and through the motorcycling community, we got to know each other again.
And as we don't live on the same continent, we've been talking about whether we stay, Marion comes here to America, or maybe I go back to Europe.
We just sort of reconnected, I suppose, originally via Facebook.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, with my motorcycle trips, it's brought us, you know, touring Europe, and staying with your brother, of course, brought us together, because that's how we sort of bumped into each other.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, motorcycles from 1973, my first motorcycle, and used to be on the back.
Yes. And then I did crash one of Mark's bikes.
I used to go and pick you up from high school, or we'd have lunch at least 3 or 4 times a week.
And then you'd take me back to school.
I'd take her back to school and I'd go back to work. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
It was that freedom of motorcycles. It's that first, we couldn't afford cars. And because of the licensing in England, motorcycles were your first chance at 16 years old. And we all basically accumulated on the high road, on the high street, a couple of times a week. And some of the girls came down, you came down obviously, and caught my eye. And it was the 70s, and you know, shy, hey, hello. Do you want to go for a ride? That's how it all started.
Both my parents had bikes, so I just started hanging around with motorcyclists, and I've done it all my life. It's just one of those things, I suppose. It's a lifelong thing.
It's funny, as we're talking, I'm looking, just reminiscing on some of the pictures on the walls with friends from 40 years ago, that really, I don't think without having that motorcycle touch, we'd really be friendly. It's not like a lot of old fishermen, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely, and I'm looking, you know, the Ace Cafe in London, and right across the banner of that year, it's reunion. Everything's about reunions, and that's exactly it. It's a sport, it's an interest, it's a hobby, it's very social.
It's very social, and I think the people who don't like motorcycles don't really get it. Right. They just don't understand.
With the 59 Club, we did a big ride. 4 guys had Sena communicators. To set up the mesh on those 30s was really cool, and it worked very well. And then to have a phone call come in from a guy that had missed the meeting point and then automatically turning it off when I hung up, which was fantastic. He joined us, by the way. I would not have been able to speak to that guy, so he joined us at Hanson for the Norton ride. It's
definitely more fun that I can communicate rather than just sort of banging him on the back.
The motorcycle is a method, a tool that's brought us closer together. It's made, for me, the world a smaller place, much more accessible.
I think it's just an instant in, isn't it, to a group?
I've ridden with many different groups. I don't know any of them. And not once has someone said, hey, you're not welcome, right? That is very unique. I feel it's not like walking into a cold environment and introducing yourself. There's no judgment.